everyone, Megan here with the Food Corridor. I'm going to show you the new Onboarding Flows feature. So the purpose of this feature is to provide you with one easy, centralized go-to for you to build your onboarding process that prospects need to follow in order to be kitchen ready in your kitchen, and for you to automate some of that and really easily track it and track their progress. As well as for your prospects to have one centralized, easy go-to place to know exactly what's expected of them, what's next, what's coming up, so they can get through your onboarding quickly. And so let's start with how you would set it up. So here in Kitchen Settings, Onboarding, once you've opted into the feature, you'll see this example checklist right here. This is where you're going to build your template or templates for what your prospects need to go through for onboarding. And so we give you a few example tasks. You can use these, you can edit them, you can add to it. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's start by editing the name and description of the checklist. So we'll click these three dots here, edit, and we'll call this food truck checklist. Now you can create as many checklists as you need to if, for example, your onboarding for food trucks is different than your onboarding for your CPG companies. Great. Okay, so let's go ahead and start adding some tasks. So click Add Task right here. So this should be what the task is. When you click the drop down, you'll see some suggestions again that we have that you might want to add to your flow, but you can also add your own. So we'll say schedule kitchen tour. We'll go with capital S. Okay. So schedule a kitchen tour. So where should your prospects schedule this tour? If it's a link, so for example, say you use You Can Book Me or Calendly or something along those lines, you can go ahead and add that link here and then add instructions. So anything else that your prospect would need to know in order to complete this task. The link is optional. So if you don't have a link, if that doesn't apply for this task, all the more reason to make the instructions or the description really clear for them. So we'll say, please schedule on Tuesdays or Fridays, whenever you do your tours. Great, so that task was added. So as we're adding to this, we're realizing, well, we actually want them to do the kitchen tour before the kitchen orientation. So you can use this guy on the left and drag up the task to reorder those, because your prospect is going to be prompted to complete these tasks in order. One handy thing you can do is use this View as Prospect tool. So if you click that, this is what it would look like for an example prospect. So you can just check your links here. So let's just check and make sure that link works. Yep, looks good. Check the descriptions, make sure the order is right, etc. So this is what, kind of an example of what it's going to look like for them. Okay, so we'll click Return to your account. And I'm going to switch tabs to a checklist that's already built, just so we have a better example. Here. Okay, so here's an example of a checklist that might resemble yours. Let's go ahead and assign. So go to Clients, Prospects, and we're going to assign this checklist to Hearty Oats. Onboarding, select a checklist, and we'll do the food truck checklist. Save that here. Great, so their checklist is added. So they were just notified that you added a checklist for them and it's ready to go, and they can go ahead and get started on that. Once you've assigned it, you can customize it if you need to. So for example, if you need to customize that kitchen tour task, if you need to change the link or customize that link for that specific person, change the description, you can do that. You can customize those things, as well as delete any tasks that aren't applicable to that prospect. So from their perspective, we'll refresh this page. Great, so they can now see in their account settings, so up here, they'll click My Onboarding, and it will be the default tab when they log in. And so they'll see your logo right here, so they know that they're onboarding into your kitchen and this checklist here. And so they're prompted to complete these steps in order. And so the next step on their list will always say in progress. So basically what they'll do, they'll click on the link, complete the task. So welcome to our kitchen. Maybe it's a YouTube video about Grammarly. They'll watch it and then they'll click mark complete right here. And so now they can see that that's pending approval. Now you just received a notification as the kitchen that this prospect completed a task and sent it for you to review and approve. However, if you can't get to it right away, no big deal. You're not going to block them. Once they've completed a task, they can go ahead and move on to the next one. So submit application. They'll click that link. Maybe it's a Google form link, Jot form on your website, what have you. They'll complete it. They'll come back here, click mark complete. Now that's pending approval. And so they'll keep going in this way. And so if we go back to your side and refresh that, again, you receive notifications for these and you can see all the ones that they've submitted and which one is next on their list. This progress bar up here tells you how far along they are with completed tasks. So as you mark these complete, that progress just went to 20%. Submit application. Yep, I saw that it came through. Mark that complete. So you always have the final say. You as well can mark any tasks complete in any order. It's just your prospect that needs to go in order. And you'll notice the add payment method was already marked complete. That means that that food business had already added their payment method. Go them. And we know that as the food corridor when their payment method is added, so we can go ahead and mark that off as completed for you automatically. The other one that we would automatically mark off for you is this upload all required documents. So if you have that task added, and it's one of the ones you can choose from the drop down, you can, and they've added all of their documents and none of them are expired, that task will also automatically be marked complete and we'll let you know about that. So that, and they'll just keep going in that way. So will you. They'll be notified anytime you approve a task of theirs, and lets them know what's the next task that they can complete. If they haven't completed a task in 2 days, they'll get a reminder from us. If they haven't completed a task in a week, they'll get a reminder from us, and then we'll send nudges weekly after that up to 3 times, just to help keep them moving along. So those are automated for you. You, of course, can send any messages that you want to as well, but just know the platform's doing that for you too. And, the last thing I wanted to mention, as they're going through this, say most of the tasks are completed, you're just waiting on one task, but you know it's coming, but you're ready to get them ramped up and in the kitchen. You can approve them as a client at any point. You don't have to wait for their checklist to be completed. So say you approve the client. You'll notice here that onboarding tab went away. The checklist is still here though, so it's just moved to the general tab. It's a little less important once they're a client, so it doesn't need quite the real estate. So we'll click edit. So it's just more of a scaled down version that you can still interact with. So you can still mark off these tasks or edit them or delete them the same way. You'll just check it and click save. From their point of view, let's refresh. It's going to look the same, whether they're a prospect or a client. There's all the notifications will work the same. They'll still see all the tasks that have been completed, what's next, etc. So that's it. Thanks so much, and I hope the feature is super valuable for you.